All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we would like to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach. That is to say, all praises, honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, which is the Heavenly Father, Bahashem in the name, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, Bahashem in the name, Rachach, which is the Holy Spirit, giving double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, who taught us his truth and rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akim and Nakwa. Listening and learning. This message goes out to the true Hebrew sites of the Bible, the so-called Native Americans, so-called Latinos, and so-called African Americans scattered throughout the four corners of the world. This is the branch of the Great Millstone Chicago Camp. I'm the brother Yaya.
I'm the brother Asha.
Back at it with another quick lesson to the spirit. And we was meditating, and we just watched this movie. It's called War Machine. You go ahead and check it out. It's on Netflix. It's a pretty decent movie. And one of the key things I got from that movie is perseverance, man. Because the main character's name is I don't really remember his name. I think it was like 81 or something like that. But basically, to sum it up, he goes through a lot of stuff, man, and he has to persevere and fight through all, man. And what does perseverance mean? It's to persist, man. It's the tenacity, man, to hold on to something and to keep fighting through whatever you're fighting through, man. So we gonna, and the scriptures talk about that often. So we just gonna get straight to the point. So we gonna start off. With First Timothy. I see. We gonna start with First Timothy. This is First Timothy 6 and verse 12. Getting straight to the point. First Timothy 6 and 12. Fight the good fight of faith. Lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and hast professed a good profession before many witnesses. So right there, fight the good fight of faith, lay hold unto eternal life. So you have to keep fighting this. You have to keep fighting this fight, man. And it's no quitting, man. If you put your hands to the plow and look back, you are not worthy of the kingdom, man. And we fighting for them crowns, man. It says they fight for a corruptible crown, but we ain't corruptible. We gonna get that too. So we got to keep fighting, and we got to keep persevering no matter what situation, temptation, affirmity, affliction comes to our way. We got to keep persevering and got to keep fighting, man, as a soldier. Another one real quick, 2 Timothy 2 and 3. Actually, I'll start at 1. 2 Timothy 2 and 1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, because the dude in the movie is a soldier, man, and he's fighting to become a ranger, man, and he has to endure all sorts of trials and tribulations. At the end, it gets crazier, man. And that just shows you the Lord, and that just shows you all kind of stuff is gonna be thrown your way, but you're gonna have to adapt and you're gonna have to maneuver through these things, man.
Yeah, anytime you're dealing with any situation in the world, it's never going to be cut and dry. You got to go through adversity, man, and figure it out and make your way through it and maintain, as he's saying, your strategy and persevere through all the good and bad. Through all the bad times.
God, verse 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
Yeah, you gotta maintain the course. You can't go off the program. You know what I mean? You can't go about it your own way. You gotta continue to fight, man. A good fight, man, and go through the straight gate. That's what it's all about. And that it's gonna be a heck of a fight, man. We fighting now, but this fight for us is there's no temptation is common to man. You know what I mean? He give us a way to make it, man. And that's what it's all about.
Let's skip down to verse 10 real quick. 2 Timothy 2 and 10. Therefore I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation which is in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai with eternal glory. So we fighting for that crown, man, and we fighting to lift up each other, man, to keep pushing, man. Grab that no temptation.
Yes.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. First Corinthians 10 and 13, there had no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape that ye may be able to bear it.
And you on the way to deal with the temptation is go through it like your house shot went through it, man. You gotta cleave to this word. It said wisdom, knowledge should be the strength of that time. Loosely paraphrasing.
Okay.
So the scriptures is our way out, man. It's our comforter in hard times, difficult times. Meditating on your Habashim shot. That's the only way you're gonna persevere and make it through. You know what I mean? The comforter is these scriptures. You're not gonna get through it without your Habashim shot and meditating on the scriptures, man. Like the brothers say all the time. Read, study ourselves to prove. So in the end, if they take the phones, if they take the Bibles, you still got the word in you, man. You know what I mean, that you could draw upon. So it's important, to do what you can, so the Lord, renew your mind at that time and bring these things to remembrance. Because you're gonna need it.
Con. Quick on real quick. This is Sirach 4 and 28, straight to the point. Sirach 4 and 28. Strive for the truth until death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. So, and how can you strive? You got to persevere. You got to keep doing the lessons. You got to keep going to camp, keep going to class, keep being diligent in all your works, and you got to keep fighting, no matter what's going on with you.
Yeah, no matter what's been thrown your way, and you watch that movie, whatever's thrown his way, you have to keep going, man. You got to press towards the mark. And that's a part of this battle, man. Press to the mark, to the high calling. Just grab that. Press towards the mark. This is Philippians 3 and 14. It says, start at 12. Pressing towards the goal. It says, this is Philippians 3 and 12. It says, not as though I have already obtained it, either were already perfect, but I follow after, if that I may apprehend that which I apprehend for Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Says right. So, he hasn't, nobody's attained anything. He said you had to endure to the end to make it. So nobody's made it yet. We're far from perfect. We still in this flesh, and we still have to go through the hour of temptation. It says, brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but there's one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. So you can't be, it says, strip off the mortal thoughts and lay the things aside to you is weighing heavy on you. And keep going. You know what I mean? So we got to keep going. It says, I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High and Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. So we've been called to a purpose, to this truth, man. And we got to see it through to the end. I don't care how many precepts you know. I don't care how long you've been in the ministry. None of that's going to save you if you don't make it to the end. You could be in this ministry for 40 years and be cast away. We heard the apostles talk about a lot of people been in this thing battling for years and walked away at the end, man. It's just scary. So, we haven't made it nowhere yet. You have to endure to the end, man. And that's a part of that perseverance. Bottom line, it don't matter what you do, you got to make it to the end, man. Period. What you did yesterday ain't good enough for today. You know what I mean? You got to continue to stay on your course and press towards the mark. That's just how this truth goes, man.
I got the second Esdras.
Yeah.
This is second Esdras 14, and I'll start at 13. Second Esdras 14 and 13. Now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. So we gotta cast all those thoughts away, man. We gotta For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. So, Con, we ain't been through nothing yet, man. So all of the little stuff we going through is nothing compared to the stuff that's about to happen. So how much more do we need to persevere? How much more do we need to endure? How much more do we need to fight, man?
Right, and this is just talking about we in the beginning of Jacob's trouble. It's going to get way worse than that, according to what's that, Jeremiah 37 and Daniel 12:1. You know, we still in the green tree. It's about to get rough and rugged and real bad out here, man. And that's what this movie was going into. You think you got through one obstacle, how come another way worse than that?
Right.
So you can't be thinking about, you got to put aside all the weak stuff that would hold you down. It's a movie, we watched a movie called Dead Presidents, and, it's a good clip that brothers bring up all the time where in that movie Dead Presidents, one of his buddies talking about, you think about your wife, and they was in the war. He's like, hell no, I can't think about my wife. And as soon as I start thinking about that stuff, I'm a dead man out here. Right. So that's the stuff you got to lay aside. You know what I mean? Your family, your children, all the other stuff. Some of you got to put that to the side and keep pushing. You know what I mean? Towards the mark.
Con, this is 2 Corinthians 12:7. And plenty of prophets in the past had to go through their own afflictions and infirmities, and this is one of the perfect examples, man. And this is Paul. This is 2 Corinthians 12:7. And lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, and that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Mashiach may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, and reproaches, and necessities, and persecutions, and distress, for Hamashiach's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. So Paul had something going on with him. It doesn't explicitly say what it was, but Paul had something going on with him, and he asked the Lord to take it away. But the Lord said, man, you all right, man. My grace is sufficient for me, man. So the Lord gave every man according to his own measure of faith, and every man according to what he think he can handle, man. And he won't give you, like you read in that 1 Corinthians, he's not going to give you anything greater than you can bear, man.
Yeah.
So we have to keep persevering, and we have to what he say? He say he take pleasure in his infirmities, man. We got to be patient with change to the lowest state, man. We gotta be happy when we going through it, because that lets us know that the Lord is still dealing with us, man. He still, it says he has not, all that he loved, he chasteneth, man. So those that he chastened, if he loveth, man. So that shows that the Lord is still dealing with you, man. Yeah. You just got to keep the faith, keep enduring, and keep persevering.
Yeah, and Paul had many conversations about going through it, man. Beaten with many stripes, shipwreck, you know what I mean? Paul went through a lot of perseverance, and he still, finished his job. He never gave up. And along with the cares of the church. You can read that for yourself. Where Paul, he actually outlines a bunch of stuff that he had to go through.
God.
You know what I mean? That shows you that, hey, and not only him, Yahweh Shai, author and finisher of our faith, what he had to go through and made it to the end. And he prayed, you know what I mean, in the Garden of Gethsemane. You know what I mean? Take this cup from me. The Lord like, no, you got it. So he had to go through it, man.
God.
So we've got, those who went before us. So scripture just said things written before time before our learning. So, we have those as our, as our role models to show us the way on how to persevere and how to finish it out, man.
Con. This is 1 Peter 4:12. First Peter 4:12. Beloved, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice insomuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
And that suffering, man, is, can come from anywhere. Your job, your woman, niggas on the bus, people on the street, you know what I mean? Your own mind battling with the enemy. That suffering is real, man. Afflictions in the body. One leg hurt 1 week, the next leg hurt the next week, your car, whatever it is, man. The suffering is truly the suffering, man. But we got to endure to the end. You know what
God.
I mean? In order to receive this crown.
God.
He didn't say, he didn't say it was going to be easy. He just promised that he would be with us to the end so we can make it.
God. This is 1 Corinthians 9:24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize, so run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainty, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it to subjection, lest I by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. So when we fighting in this truth, we fight knowing that there's a crown laid up to us, man. Knowing that knowing that the Lord Yahushua is waiting on the other side, waiting for us to finish this marathon that we run it in, man.
Right. And nobody starts a race. And, just think about that. That's a wonderful analogy. You run. You got to get in the race. When you start a race, you know what the finish line is. So you got to get in the race, knowing that I've got to finish this race. You don't quit in the middle of the race. It's like when you're working out. You have a certain amount of sets of work reps you're gonna do. You don't quit in your first set. You keep going till you've completed your set or whatever thing that you're doing. Like you be playing a video game. You don't quit in the middle of the game. You got to finish the game.
Right.
You don't just throw in the towel. This is the expectation. You got to, whatever you do, you got to do it, see it all the way through. Whatever you into, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If you walking, you know what I mean? You leave or walk out your front yard, then you turn right back around. No, you got to go to the store. Wherever you going, you got to see it through. Just give you general analogies on what it means, and then you got to do it, righteously. You can't get mad and then try to call yourself trying to do it a different way. You've got the like you said, this is for incorruptible crown, and we've got to be diligent and disciplined to fight through it, through the pain, the trauma, turmoil. All those things are going to come about. You've got to persevere, push through.
God.
You know what I mean? You got to tape up your hand. Can't be like LeBron James, LaFlop. Can't be load management. That's an inside joke. You got to play all 82 games, man. Injured with a broken finger like Kobe and MJ. Inside joke, man.
This is 2 Timothy 4:7. 2 Timothy 4:7. Now this is Timothy, man, another one of our forefathers. Verse 7, 2 Timothy 4:7. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing. Do thy diligence to come surely unto me. So, the Lord has a crown laid up for us, man. That incorruptible crown he has laid up for those that keep fighting and keep pushing through the faith, and especially for the times that's to come, man.
Yeah, and that goes to those who endure to the end. You got to make it to the end. You can't get this without, he said he finished this fight. He said, I fought a good fight and I finished my course. He didn't say he quit, he gave up.
All right.
He finished the course.
Yeah. Revelation 2:10. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So going into that faith, going into that enduring, and going into that persevering, man, you gotta be faithful unto death, man. You gotta be willing to persevere and give your life for this truth, man.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna end it off with this Revelation 3:10. Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And that temptation, that try right there is speaking of the MOTB, man, the mark of the beast. And these are it says it's gonna be a time like no other, man. At Jeremiah 37, It say Michael gonna come fight for us at Daniel 12:1. It's just a bunch of stuff down the pipeline, man. So as our forefathers have done, we must also do. We must endure to the end. We must strive for the truth until death. We must remain faithful, perseverant, patience, hopeful, and just enduring, man, throughout it all, man.
That's what it's all about, man. Making it to the finish line. And that's when you watch the movie, he talked about the finish line.
Con, got anything else? So with that, I hope this video was edifying and exhortational. We would like to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakarash, giving double honors unto the elders and apostles of the great millstone, thought it's the truth and well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Keep doing what you're doing. Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yasharallah. And a Abba.